Hey folks, how are we doing this fine evening? You guys are doing good? I'm glad to hear it. It's good to see you guys. Let me just get seated. You guys are looking good today. You guys are really looking good. Let me just take a quick look at you.
You better stop!
Okay. Alright guys. So today I felt like doing a video for you guys. And might as well, hey, get that good old feeling. Yeah, the good old feeling. You hear that bass drop? That's for suspense. That's for suspense. That's for suspense. Suspense. Are you ready to get scared? I'm not. Because if I do, I'm going to take a poo-poo. Okay, let's do this. Let me turn off the lights and we can get started. And as for me, I'll probably might crap my pants. Let's do this, y'all. It's called an almost house-sitting horror
I was 16 when this
story,
happened.
animated.
It still haunts me to this day. My older brother's friend gave me work of house sitting his rather large
It may
house
haunt
for
me
2
too.
days, with the pay rate being $100 a night. For the
I
sake
get
of privacy
haunted every
reasons,
day.
let's call my brother's friend Nick. $200 was a lot for such a simple task as house sitting.
Hey, I beat that
And since I recently sold
PS3
my
though.
PlayStation 3 to save up for a PlayStation 4, the job came as godsend.
On the 5.
At around 6 p.m., Nick picked me up and drove me to his house, as it was getting dark out.
Nick Carter.
Once we got there, he told
He
me about
looks
the
like Nick
security
Carter.
cameras he had installed in and out of his home. But I didn't have any
So
intention
no one
of
can
staring
come
at
in
any
and
security
out.
monitor all night, as I had brought my laptop to pass the time.
That's smart, Nick. That's really
After some
smart,
time
dude.
had passed, I felt hungry and decided to grab something from the fridge. But as I got up to make my way down, I saw movement out of the corner of my eye from the monitor. I sat back
This
down,
is like
closing my
FNAF
laptop,
almost.
and taking a closer look, noticing the movement coming from camera 4. Upon closer inspection, I noticed that it was a silhouette of what appeared to be a man standing outside the house. Within seconds
And
of
why is he
pressing
sitting outside
open
the
monitor,
house breathing like
the
that?
man was gone. At that very moment, I heard glass shatter somewhere downstairs.
Dio!
Look at the camera,
Dio!
noticing him crawling in through the basement window at an alarming rate.
Oh, great!
Watching him climb the basement
He
stairs with
take
a
it out
knife
of my
clenched in his
hand.
hand. I quickly locked the door to my room and dialed 911, explaining
Smart.
everything.
That
I
is
watched the
smart.
monitor, terrified to see the man on the same floor as mine, desperately opening and closing the doors, looking for anyone to cross his path. I pressed my ear against the door, straining to hear his now slowed footsteps approach my door as he attempted to open it. Realizing I was in
At
there,
least
he
he's
began to
being
shout,
fun about it.
pounding the
Oh
door
my
aggressively, banging into the
lord!
very
Look at this dude!
getting louder and louder. My fear quickly disappeared as I heard the man run towards the stairs,
You better
attempting
run,
to escape
son.
his fate. When I heard the front door slam open, accompanied by somebody yelling,
Police, put your hands in the air.
He looks like Slenderman's
moments later, I
brother.
walked downstairs and saw the intruder in a pair of handcuffs being escorted to the police cruiser. I thanked one of the officers and called Nick, explaining everything to him. After about 20 minutes, he picked me up and took me home. But I got no sleep that night. All I could think of was how lucky I was to be alive.
Yeah, I have to
Showed up when they
agree.
did. I couldn't be here to tell this story.
Oh, Lord!
I've been followed by creeps before, and in one case was almost assaulted. I was never truly scared about that type of stuff. I've been through a lot in my life, and I consider myself.
She's the same girl from those other
Even though some
shorts!
creep attempted to assault me, I wasn't scared because I knew I was.
Oh! His eggs just got sacked!
These nuts.
I know when something bad's gonna happen, or if someone is a shady character, etc.
He
My
looks like
friends
that's
tell
the
me I have
key
some type
from
of
Doki
sixth
Doki.
sense. I'm not one for superstition, but I also have to agree it gets really weird, and I'm almost always right. One day, I got the worst gut feeling I ever had.
That
in my
doesn't
life.
sound good.
I was in my first year of college, living in some very nice apartments. I loved living there. It was a Friday, and I needed to head to the bank before it closed because I forgot to cash in my check beforehand. I left my house, locked the door, and started heading towards my car. Right as I left the hallway of my apartment complex and started walking, a beat-up rusty truck pulled up as if on cue. There were two guys inside. One was a pretty big guy with tattoos and looked like he just got out of prison.
Oh!
The second I
How
opened
about
my
you
eyes,
won?
I had my gut feeling kick in. It was worse than usual, and I immediately felt like.
Oh, look at these
Started to
guys.
tell me things like, "You are so beautiful. Come over here. Let's talk."
Oh
You're
my
the most
sweet
beautiful.
lord! Oh my sweet lord! Oh my sweet lord! What guys in the right mind would do that? Like seriously, if someone was trying to say that to my girl, do you know what would happen? This would happen. That's right. I'll put this right up their butts. If they say it to my girl.
Girl I've ever seen. I didn't want to walk to my car because I didn't want them to know what car I drive, and I didn't want to walk back to my house because
I
lived
don't
close
blame
to
her.
which is easier to break into. And if they didn't know already where I lived, I wanted to keep them from finding out.
She is.
So I started
Being
walking
really
to the front
smart.
office of the apartment complex.
I
which
like
was a little
that.
Far away. I already had my pocket knife out, but hidden in my sweater sleeve. They kept calling out, trailing me as I
Really?
walked to the office. I kept my eye on them so I knew what they were up to. They eventually asked me.
I
to
don't
go
know.
The big guy said, "We're having a party at 2 a.m. at a friend's house who lives here. Wanna come? We can all hang out beforehand and get to know each other before we go."
How about you say
It was a-
no? And I'm out of here.
Around 3:30 p.m. at the time, just for your information. I ignored them and told them no,
That was
stop
smart.
bothering me. They kept trying to persuade me by saying nice things and stuff, and eventually they both said, "If you come with us, we'll give you a free pair of shoes." The skinny guy then leans back and starts digging around the back seat. I stopped to look because I wanted to make sure he wasn't gonna grab a gun or duct tape.
Yeah,
or some
that's
shit like that.
true.
I was a good few feet away from the truck and took a running position just in case. He pulls out a dark blue suitcase from the back seat.
This
and
is not a
opens
good
it.
sign.
Inside there are maybe 100 different
That's
pairs of
really
shoes.
disturbing.
The sizing ranged from a small pink Dora the Explorer shoe to an adult-sized woman's stilettos. That's the moment where my gut feeling went into a frenzy. My knees became so weak I threw up on the spot. I've never felt so.
Just the one.
so
Just
disgusted in my
one.
entire
Don't let your dreams be dreams. So just do it!
life. I felt pure evil. I screamed no
Oh boy. Oh no.
and began to get out of the car. I booked it. In the street, my neighbor's little kids were playing outside. I snatched them up and ran
You
all the
are
way
a
to the
really
front
smart
office.
girl.
No way I was gonna leave these little kids behind with some freaks. The minute we got there, I told the front office, and they called the cops. And I called the kid's mother. I told them that her kids were with me and not to leave the house in case they were still out there. I didn't want them to find out where she lived either. After that, for the next few days, I was terrified to leave my house. So terrified
That's
I
the
had my
key
friend
from
come and
Doki
stay
Doki.
with me for about a week. On the 4th day, we were
Now
getting
that's
ready to leave
that's a
to go
key
get
and
food.
Monica.
And while I was locking the door, my friend said, "That's a
What?
sugar truck." I turned around, and it was those guys in
Are
the
you
truck right in
joking?
front of my house. We ran back inside. Apparently they had been stalking out my place for a while. They were never caught, and I never
I
saw them
don't want to
again
see them
before
again either.
police cracked down on security. I learned about serial killers in school and found out some take trophies of their victims.
That's the guy from the other
I
side.
always thought back and wondered, what if all those shoes were trophies?
Yeah.
Needless to say, I no longer live there.
Wow.
When I was 17, I didn't have a driver's license. Most of the time I walked or hitchhike.
Oh,
There was
you
this
guys
one
can
day,
see me. Sorry.
there weren't that many cars on the road, and it was very cold. And this man pulled over. When the guy pulled
Oh!
over, I took a good look at the guy and figured I could take him if he tried anything. He was on the
You
skinny
good,
side and had a strange
fam?
frailness about him, even though he looked healthy enough. I got into the car after we agreed on the destination.
Yeah, this is the dumbest shit I've ever
We exchanged
seen.
names and I warmed my
Like
fingers
I
up in
do.
front of the heating group. He spoke quietly, asking a few questions along the lines of,
No
was I
guys.
local and how did I like living
If
there?
you see a guy who does like this, would you get in the car? No. No, you wouldn't.
He said he only been here for a few months, but found it beautiful and hoped he could find happiness there. That comment struck me as a little odd, but I brushed it off. It began to snow.
Oh,
and the
I
road
hate
quickly
it when
got
that
slippery.
happens.
So he slowed and he kept his
Don't
eyes
you hate
straight out
that?
the windshield, driving silently. I was okay with that, as small talk was never my forte. About 10 minutes later, I noticed a car near the intersection we were approaching seemed to be sliding, so I said, "Watch out." He immediately hit the gas,
No, no,
shooting
no,
through
no,
the
no, no, no,
intersection
no,
and
no.
burst out with, "Don't ever scream at
No,
me."
no, 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 no.
Needless to say, I was taken aback. I said, "Look, this is close enough. Just pull over here and I can get there." He didn't seem to hear me.
Of course you
So I
wouldn't.
said, "Richard, did you hear me?" I said, "You can pull over here and let me out."
See, I told you I didn't trust
He
him.
just stared straight ahead, driving faster now than he did when it started snowing. To say I was scared doesn't seem to cover the depth of the fear that began to
I'm
rise.
probably
in me.
out your pants.
I didn't know if I should stay quiet or speak, but I was damn sure not going to yell after his outburst. After about a mile, he began to mumble under his breath. I couldn't quite make out what he was saying, but I assumed he was speaking to me. So I said, "What did you say? I couldn't hear you." He began to speak quietly and rapidly, saying things like, "You're always yelling at me. I've told you time and time again, do not yell at me. I don't appreciate it. No, you don't listen. You don't listen." I was just
What?
sitting there looking at him. I was at a complete loss. I didn't know what to say in response or if I should say anything at all. I contemplated just jumping out of the car, but nixed that idea when I realized the door lock was missing. There was just a silver-lined hole where it should have been.
That's not good.
I started to cry and debate with myself about causing an accident by grabbing the wheel and hoping for the best. When he suddenly looked at me for
You
the
good,
first time
fam?
since I had gotten in the car. He blinked several times, rapidly,
About
then slowed the
time.
car,
About
pulling
time.
into a gas station. I waited to see if he unlocked the doors, not wanting to say anything to set him off again. After a minute or two, he quietly said, I think I better let you out of here. And he hit the button to the door.
Then what was all that?
And opened the door. I wasn't about to hesitate, so I jumped out of the car as if I were on fire. I was about to turn and walk into the gas station when he called my name. He looked so damn sad and I hesitated. He apologized. Said he was sorry.
At least that's nice of him.
That he never would have harmed me. And he asked if I'd be able to get home okay. I said I would.
He's the only guy that was nice about
it. He began to pull out of the
it.
gas station, but stopped suddenly. He just sat there for a couple of moments, his head down. I froze, wondering what the hell was up, and was about to run into the gas station. But he opened his window and yelled at me, waving something in his hand.
He forgot his hat.
I left it on his seat. I slowly approached the side of his car, and he handed it to me, apologizing again. I didn't know what else to say.
I thought he was going to do something.
I watched as he drove off, making sure he was out of sight before
I nearly
he
picked out
so
then.
he wouldn't know which direction I was heading. As I walked, I went to put my hat back on, and a piece of paper fell out of it.
Whoa!
It was a $100 bill. The paper said, "I'm sorry. Please take a cab and don't hitchhike anymore tonight."
That was actually kind of smart too, to be honest.
In fact, it was the last time I ever hitchhiked in my life. Will never.
You know what? That's a good lesson to learn. Actually, never hitchhike, because you never know who you're gonna run into. And guys, take that as advice from me. If you're hitchhiking, don't. You never know who you're gonna run into. It's dangerous. Don't do it. And that's advice from me. Yours truly, Dylan Kurosaki. Let's get on with the next short, shall we? Creepy guy tried to kill my family? Dear Lord!
This story is totally true. It happened to me when I was about 4 years old. My dad used to really like going on vacation with me and my family. One time, we went to what I think was Big Bear, but I'm not sure.
A house out in the country.
Anyway, we rented a cabin.
Never a good sign.
Much, but I remember the inside of the cabin was beautiful.
You're up in the mountains. You know what's gonna happen.
But it was around Christmas time. It was very roomy, and it was 2 floors and had its own den, kitchen,
and there's no way back home.
We arrived during the day, and everything seemed normal. When night came, however, we started hearing noises. It sounded like someone was shaking the front doorknob trying to get in. I was the first to notice, and I told my mom. But she didn't believe me. Then she saw it too. For a couple of minutes.
And who's out there at that time of night?
Just kept shaking by itself, and we were too afraid.
They're saying the dad.
Then we heard another noise. It sounded like steel hitting steel. Then it stopped. My dad was afraid someone was trying to break in, so we packed up all our things so we can leave. But before we did, my dad called the police and asked them to come search the premises. We exited out the back.
That is really smart.
Our car
was
down the hill
really
from the
smart.
back of the cabin. I fell asleep in the car and woke up the next morning in a small rinky-dink motel room that was
doesn't matter, you're with your family.
I was so bummed, but I was quickly relieved we had left because later that day, we found out who was making those noises.
Who was it?
Arrived there and searched the outside and found nothing. Then they went inside and found 2 hooks instead of hands. He had been twisting the doorknob with his hook. Then he clashed his hooks together. And
no sequel for you.
Still on steel. We found out that about 5 minutes after we left the cabin, He successfully broke in and started searching for us. The police found bodies stashed in upstairs.
Oh!
On our way home from the motel.
Oh
we
my
stopped at
lord!
the cabin where the madman had tried to break in. My mom knew it was a bad idea, but my dad told her to relax. The cops took care of that guy. He's nowhere near us. We all went into the little shop to buy some candy and snacks. We were quite surprised when we came out of the shop.
Somehow I don't trust that guy.
There was a note on the hood that read, "There's more of us. See you soon." It's safe to say that we never went back to that cabin again.
Oh! Oh my lord! Let's do one more. It's called I think I saw a baby ghost. I think the baby is due to cut my pants.
I was born in 1984. This incident was from 1989. I was 5 years old then. I'm a guy, the middle child of 5 siblings. It was late 1989. When my mom was giving birth to our youngest sister. My mom was having labor, and my dad and a family friend were taking her to the hospital.
I'm happy of that.
My eldest sister and I were left alone at home. I have no clue about ghosts and hauntings by that time. I wasn't sure how much time has passed since they left for the hospital, but I guessed it's
I just had an eerie feeling down my spine.
her on the couch. I am sure I was wide awake and watching my elder sis sleeping. The couch was just by the window, and the window was high above the ground. There's no way anyone could climb up the wall. It was then, at that exact moment, that I saw a hand. On the outside of the window pane. The hand of a baby, from the wrist upward, with the palm facing me. Maybe I was too young to get scared, or I didn't know how to react. I'm not sure. I just kept staring at the hand. At that time, I thought that the hand was of my to-be-born younger babies. I can't tell what happened after that. What I'm sure of was that my parents came home the next morning with our new baby sister.
Aww.
I told my mom about the thing after I was 25 years old. But I've got chills when I think about that night. I wonder why I didn't get scared or horrified. Maybe I was too young, as I've said before. I don't know. I'm sure I saw what I saw. If that night was not then, but one of these nights, I'd be screaming my lungs out or froze to death.
Oh my lord! Okay. Oh! Those shorts are sure some. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to see some more, hit that notification bell. It helps you see. It will really help you guys out. Because that way, when I upload, you can see when I upload. Also, Astro, blast that like button. And keep relaxing, and don't stop believing. And most of all, I love all of you.